don't know if respect is like. Jeez, sorry, dude. Oh, ain't my fault. You didn't let me know that you was about to sneeze.
I was always trying to say that.
Wait!
Watch out!
I hate this channel.
Hey, welcome back to Jivetalk. We over here. It's me, Ty,
Micah.
And Josh.
Yo, we got the band back together this week, and I had a pretty good weekend. First thing I gotta say, y'all need to like, y'all need to subscribe, y'all need to definitely be active in the comments if y'all are seeing this.
Share.
I don't understand why you wouldn't talk or why you wouldn't like say anything. Like we're talking all types of like.
We're talking about your favorite players.
Yeah, we're talking about your favorite players, and if we're not, then let us know that we need to. That's all I'm saying.
Let us know who you want us to talk about.
Exactly, because like we'll talk about it, and then like we get to shout y'all out. So first order of business has to be Judah SEAHAWKS.
Yeah.
Skiaka's question. I don't know, but anyways, he said I'm just a big Saints fan, and I was wondering if you guys would want to talk about the Saints defense and their new nickname, the Juice Boys. So I guess we'll go ahead and open up with Saints.
Okay. Yeah.
So, okay, first off, yeah. So, first off, Saints versus Seahawks. Monday night game. Just watched it last night.
If you want to specifically talk about the defense, they played really well. As far as the Juice Boys thing goes, I don't know how that started. But, you know, it's a cool nickname.
It's a cool nickname.
I like it.
We definitely bring that juice.
We do.
But, like, I'll say, I don't know, there's better nicknames out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I need to do some more research on, like, what originated it. It definitely sounds like some Chauncey Gardner type shit.
It does sound like some Chauncey Gardner type of, like, you know, like vibe, you know, bringing that juice every Sunday or whatever. You know what I mean? He always talks about, if you, like, watch his press conference, he's always talking about, you know, bringing that swag and, like, you know, stuff like that. So I feel like we definitely do that, and we live up to the name. If Juice Boys is our name, then we live up to it. I mean, like, you saw what happened last night. They couldn't get anything from the running back position. They couldn't get anything. They could barely get anything in the pass. Yes. I mean, thank God they had DK Metcalf, or else the score would have been worse than what it was. You know what I'm saying? Horrible, it would have been like 13-3.
The pass rush really stepped up. The first 5 games of the season, we had 8 sacks on the year. Last night, we had 5.
Come on, man. 5.
That's what we need, because, I mean,
that's
it's not gonna work if we're not getting after the passer.
My take on the defense probably has to be the fact that, okay, Demario Davis is the captain of the defense. And, you know, I was a little bit iffy about Demario Davis, like maybe in the beginning years of having him on the team. But there's a reason why he's been on the team. What, is this a 5th or a 4th year?
18, 19, 20, 4th year. Yeah.
This is the 4th year he's been on the team. And Sean Payton obviously likes him at the linebacker position for a reason. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's always been like kind of like the catalyst of the defense and just like the captain. He's always kind of like been the focal point of like where we really like bring our intensity. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of starts with him.
I feel like we really elevated our defense after we got Demario Davis.
Yes.
We never really, after Jonathan Velma all those years, we never had like an elite, like good linebacker.
Exactly.
And Demario Davis really changed that his first year, and he hadn't stopped yet.
That's the thing. And you think about Demario Davis. I don't think there's been just one game that we've won because of him until yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes. And, like, the thing is, like, Demario Davis really is elite. His numbers back it up. Yeah. The defense backs it up. His knowledge of the game, like, he can do it all. He can cover. And not only that, like, he can run D, pass D. He has it all. He's an all-around pass rush. Yeah. He has all-around linebacker, like, skills. So, and he does it all at an elite level. Like, it's not anything that he just can't do. I feel like people kind of put him on a back burner. He doesn't really get a lot of the respect that he deserves. Maybe because of, you know, just how old he is, on top of the fact that, you know, maybe New Orleans isn't, like, the best market for, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, until, like, Michael Thomas or Drew Brees, like, you know, I mean, thank God we got Alvin Kamara, but, you know, on defense, unless we just have that stud.
He's just an underrated player.
He's an underrated player, for sure. You know what I mean? But, Alvin Kamara getting 20 carries, 51 yards. He did his thing. 10 receptions, 128 yards, 1 touchdown. Yeah. I mean, the guy did his thing.
They finally started passing to him more.
179 total yards on, what was it, 10 catches and 20 carries?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
That is insane. And he's definitely, he's a focal point of the offense right now that Michael Thomas is out.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, really, your top 2 receivers so far Deontay Harris has probably been your best wide receiver, and he went there, and then Michael went there, and then Traquan Smith. In my opinion, Traquan Smith has been very disappointing since 2018. So I didn't expect much from him, but
I have faith in Traquan Smith.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think that Traquan is one of the better receivers that the Saints have had in a minute. But, that number 2 role, you know what I'm saying? It's not that he's inconsistent. He's like week or monthly inconsistent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like he'll have a stretch for like 6 games where it's like this guy is money.
Yeah.
And then it's like, 2 back-to-back games where we kind of like need him, he won't really show up. Last night was definitely one of those cases, but I do have faith in Traquan Smith. He's one of my, I'm not going to say he's one of my favorite players, but like I like to see Traquan do good, because a lot of people talk down on him and a lot of people kind of overlook the fact that we do have like a solid number 2. I just think he has to prove it to everybody else as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But not to take away from Geno Smith, I also, I feel like, Geno was out there trying to do the best he could. You know what I mean? He's not Russell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if anything, the biggest takeaway from this game, as far as like on the Seahawks side, is that Russell has to be one of the most valuable players the league has seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Because, just think about what he means to the Seahawks. And then, think about how he wanted to leave this past offseason for a minute. And then think about what they look like without him. Yeah. And he should think about that as well. Without Russell Wilson, the wheels on the bus don't really turn as much as they should.
They desperately need Russell Wilson. It's not even funny how bad that offense is without Russ. You know what I'm saying? It's just terrible. Now, granted, both offenses were sloppy last night. It's in Seattle. It rains a lot. It's not great conditions for football, but still, Smith he can't do that like how Russ does.
Yeah. It's just it was definitely fun to watch. It was a fun game. It was if you like the 13 type of 10 game, I do.
I enjoy great defense.
I enjoy great defense, especially when it's from all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? because the Seahawks have some plays in there too where they were getting Alvin in the backfield, but one just because this is my team and I watched the game all the way through, I am gonna point out one play that stood out to me, and this should put it into perspective how much we really do lean on Alvin Kamara. It's 3rd and 10 and we need it.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And we almost like an outside zone type of play.
We pulled the guard.
Just pulled the guard and just let Alvin run behind him on 3rd and 10. Mm-hmm. And Alvin got it. And it was just you know what I mean? That really kind of encapsulates the, really just how much we lean on Albert and how much of a good player that he is. He's not really top 2, if you ask me. It's either him or Derrick. Yeah. Okay. They're both tied for first, if you ask me. Because you can't really take away what Derrick Henry does.
They're both just so different. I do think that a better comparison for Kamara is McCaffrey, and I think Kamara is better than McCaffrey.
I was about to say, to me, it's no comparison. Yeah. And not only that, it's he passed what McCaffrey has done in 5 years. He did it in 4. Yeah. And it's just Alvin Kamara just keeps on getting better to me. I don't ever see any real regression. There's only one time he had regression, and he's supposedly hurt with an MCL injury that whole entire year. I think it was MCL.
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah, 2019. And, he still did damage. You know what I'm saying? I think he got 1,000 all-purpose yards.
Oh, he's always had it. Yeah, he's going to get
I don't think he's ever not had 1,000 all-purpose since he's been in the league, to his point. But, yeah. But, yeah, that's my take on it. Alex Collins didn't do nearly as good as he did the first game. He's going up against a different defense. Shout out to
Judah.
Shout out Judah. You want to talk about Joe Burrow? All right, man.
Joe Burrow.
Would you like to start it off for me?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Look, a lot of people gave the Bengals shit for drafting Jamar Chase. They were like, oh, you got to draft online with Penei Sewell. He's the best offensive tackle of the last 5. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People are just giving the Bengals so much shit. But you know what the Bengals did? They flipped the shit around and they made it work. Somehow, Joe and Jamar did this shit. They have the Bengals at number 1 in the AFC North.
The Bengals should be number 1 in the AFC North. They're tied. Okay, my thing is they're tied with the Baltimore Ravens, and they have the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
They beat them. They have the tiebreaker, and they beat them.
Yeah.
So it's like when you take that. Okay, first off, you saw how we had you saw from last week how we had the power rankings. We had the Ravens up there, and then they were a top 3 defense. And for them to lose like they did, it was close until
the end.
Until the end. And then, like, what happened was that offense for the Cincinnati Bengals just kept on scoring.
Yeah.
And when you needed a score from the Baltimore Ravens, it did not come in the same fashion. But the thing is, what I take away from this game, yes, Cincinnati Bengals, they did their thing. Joe is that guy. Jamar Chase is that guy. 8 catches, 201 yards, a touchdown. Great. Joe Burrow threw for 416 yards. Joe Mixon carried the ball 12 times, had 60 yards, 59, but 60 yards. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's music to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything's working. And, okay, the thing is, when you have a number 1 target like that on the field, it takes so much attention to where it opens it up for everybody else. And when you have a decision maker like Joe Burrow, it can really make your offense go. I mean, this is a top 3 defense. This is a top 3 defense that they just did this to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? 41 points on this defense. They're supposed to be top 3. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Lamar Jackson, it's not that I'm saying he cannot be this decision maker that Joe Burrow is, but what I'm saying is he won't be until he gets that number 1 target. The thing that he's missing, the only thing that I feel like he is missing, is that number 1 target.
Number 1 receiver.
A true number 1 receiver. Yeah. He also doesn't have the great running back, but I mean injuries. Yeah. So I mean that's nothing that anybody can really help.
Latavius back there.
They got Latavius. They got Devontae Freeman. They got Le'Veon Bell. You know what I'm saying? They got boys back there that can run the rock, but it's like, what are you gonna do with all 3 of them? They can't serve their purpose if all 3 of them can't play in the game. They all 3 can't run the ball at the same time. They can't. You know what I mean? So
another thing I want to say about the Bengals, you know, on defense, they weren't really great. They haven't been great for a while. They signed Trey Hendrickson, Mike Hill, and Chidobe Awuzie. Cowboys, yes. And it's like, it's working out for them. Man. That's what they needed. Trey Hendrickson has like 6 sacks on the year already. Man, I think the Saints, in hindsight, should have let Cam Jordan go and re-sign Trey, but
I mean, that's a
hard decision to make.
That's a hard decision to make. You can't, like, your franchise defensive player for years, though. You know what I mean? Like Cam held it down when nobody else would. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's not quite to that point. Oh, it might be, man.
Cam has 1 sack. It came last night, and it was because Geno Smith fucked up.
All right. Yeah, I mean, maybe we're looking at Trey Hendrickson, you know, a little bit different. But the thing is, one thing I will say, it kind of started off this slow for Cam last year, too.
Yeah.
So, like, the same thing happened. Trey Hendrickson was getting his one-on-one matchups, and he was bodying people. So he climbed up in the, like, as far as the sack race between the two, if you call it. Yeah. But they ended the season with the same amount of sacks as one another, I believe. So, for me, I feel like, you know, that's easy to say now, but there's 17 games, so we just got to see.
He'll go versus Falcons.
Yeah. For fantasy players, those of y'all who got CJ Uzoma, 3 catches, 91 yards. He did his thing. I don't know. He didn't get a touchdown, but I don't know. For those of y'all that got him, good job for y'all. Alrighty. Cincinnati wins. They improved to 5-2 on the season. They dropped Baltimore down to 5-2 on the season. And Cincinnati, in the process, gains the number 1 seed in the AFC North, right?
Number 1 seed in the AFC right now.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Number 1 seed in the AFC. Wow. Over Buffalo?
Well, Buffalo. When Buffalo wins on Sunday, they'll be number 1. But, you know, Buffalo had a bye week. So.
Buffalo plays the Dolphins.
It doesn't matter who they play. The Bills. Woo! The Bills got rolling.
Oh, well, except for the Titans, obviously. But, hey, speaking of, Tennessee versus Kansas City. Blowout. All right, so one thing I'm going to sit here and say, when I said the Chiefs were done, I meant it. I mean, you can go back and see. I mean, really, just read it and weep, Chiefs fans. I don't know what to tell you. You need some more defense. This is what happens when you prioritize offense over defense. not only that, you had one sloppy offensive game, and it wasn't even that bad. You know what I mean? It was pretty bad, though, to the point of where you got into the red zone one time. You can't blame Patty. You probably just got to blame the energy.
Yeah.
And just like the tenacity that they play with. I mean, they didn't even seem like the same
O-line
team.
hasn't been good. The receiving core outside of Tyreek hasn't been good.
Yeah.
I mean, defense hadn't been good. I mean, and Mahomes, he has like 9 interceptions, so he's not like shielded from all blame. But,
Oh, no. Yeah, well, one thing I will say, it's different when you're trying to do a little bit more.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to force the ball in places that it might not, shouldn't go, it maybe should not go,
Yeah.
but you know for a fact that if you give the ball back to the offense, they're going to score because your defense is ass.
Yeah.
Then, you don't have that in the back of your mind. You know what I'm saying? There's only one playmaker on the defense as of right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he makes those
Well,
plays.
too, someone pointed out to me that we disrespected Chris Jones. Yeah.
Okay, Chris Jones, but it's just like...
Chris Jones. You got Chris Jones and Tyrann Matthew, so there's 2.
Okay.
But
Two.
still.
All right, you got 2.
Yeah.
You got 2. I mean, I don't know. If Chris Jones was that good, Derrick Henry wouldn't have had... Well, he didn't do that great. He had 29 carries, almost 30 carries, 86 yards. Yeah. But it's just like... When you expect it to be with that many carries, you expect it to be more yards because you are wearing out the clock, but they probably just wasted time. Yeah. Considering just the fact that, okay, and this is what happens. Also, I'm gonna change the This is what happens when you go against a balanced team on defense and offense. But when I mean balanced, a team that can run the ball against a high-powered offense that. You're gonna put that other team on the field, and when they're out there, they're gonna beat you with time of possession. That's all I'm saying. And when you look at it, there's no way that the Chiefs could have got into this game and won the time of possession, even if they did have a good defense. There's nothing that's gonna save their high-powered offense. If they could have scored, they still would have lost time of possession. That's how you lose games ultimately. Yeah. I feel like that's really what ultimately lost the Tennessee and Bills game. That's what lost the Bills the game.
Yeah.
They lost time of possession. And it's just like when they did have that last, go at, going ahead or tying the ball game, they made their decision and, they have to live with that. But, if it goes into overtime, and the Titans do win the toss, or they do get held to a field goal.
Overtime is so it's not structured well. I don't like that at all.
I don't like the fact that it's just basically in a league where they favor the offense anyways. Offense gets all the calls. Yeah. Tied catch, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. If it's a tied catch and you can't really tell who catches the ball, the corner or the receiver, the tie goes to the offense every time. Yeah. It's just they favor the offense over the defense, and that's not something that it's not a secret. We see it. So I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It's not structured well, and they need to fix it. But hey, you know what I mean? Kansas City loses again. They suck, and Tennessee wins again. I guess we're just gonna see how long it's gonna take the Kansas City Chiefs to, or what they're gonna do next year to fix all these problems. Mm-hmm. What do you think they should do? Do you think they should draft O-line or draft defense?
I think they just need,
majority of what they should draft.
They got to go linebacker, I think. The linebacker core is not good. But, if you wanted to get a good, solid left tackle, well, not left tackle because they got Orlando Brown. But if you wanted to get a good, solid, lineman in there to help Orlando Brown a little bit and to keep Mahomes protected, that'd be cool. You can really go anywhere with that draft pick, honestly, because they have a lot of problems.
For me, I feel like they need a right tackle would be cool, right guard would be cool. You know what I mean? But if you ask me, I feel like it does go defense. That's one of the problems you need to address. Front seven should definitely be an issue you address because you have your safety back there. Yeah. If he's not going anywhere, then you draft linebackers. You come up off of the free agency pool because there's a lot of people that will take less money to go and win.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the defense doesn't have to be great. They just got to make plays. You saw the first Super Bowl they won. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They were pretty much dog shit the whole entire game. And then, like, they made a few plays down the stretch in the fourth quarter, and they gave it to that offense enough times. And the offense was scoring with, like, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't taking them no time to
It
score.
wasn't the same game. Jimmy G really sold in the fourth, though.
Jimmy sold in the fourth, but Jimmy played, like, one of the best games I think I've seen him play. And, like, the defense played one of the best games I ever seen them play. And, you know, that was the year that we were supposed to lose to a Super Bowl champ, like, the Saints.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Not to talk about the Saints the whole time. All right, that's enough for football. Not even doing college today, boys.
Yeah, there was no... Saturday was bad.
Saturday was a bad Saturday. It was one of the worst Saturdays there was. But, hey, you know what I mean? It happens. There's always more bad Saturdays than there is bad Sundays. I will say that.
Yeah.
Moving on to basketball. Let's talk about Chicago.
Yes.
Undefeated. They sit atop the East right now, 4-0. What do you think, Swagoo?
Bulls, I'll just say this. Look, the Bulls are definitely a contender this season. I think that them and the Knicks are back. You know, we haven't seen them since, what, the 90s?
Oh, man, yeah, man. These are the Meccas
Yeah.
coming to play.
These are definitely the two big dogs that are back.
Yeah.
I think Lonzo is pretty good. I'll say this. Look, Lonzo, he could still work on some shooting, I think. And he's great on defense. I'll say that. Zach LaVine, he's pretty good on offense. I'll say this. I haven't really watched him that much because, you know, it's the Bulls, but, you know, I can't I can't be shitting on them too much anymore if they're going to be a contender.
Right.
I've been watching a couple highlights. I'll say LaVine is definitely good. Caruso, he's that guy. You know, I think it's the power of the headband.
Yeah.
Probably that egg-shaped head.
Oh,
God,
man. Ball.
Goodness,
Ain't
boy.
no way.
That was like a spoon.
Mega Mind over there, you know.
I think doorknob over there. No, I'm just kidding, man. No, but like,
Drumstick head.
Oh my god. No, bro.
I
Caruso,
think-
your ass is getting baked right now.
I think LeBron taught him a lot. That's why his head's so big. But
Man. Yeah, bro. Caruso really has translated a lot of his Lakers game to this. Like, he's playing his role, but he's doing a little bit more too.
Yeah.
I see him
I think-
facilitating a little bit more.
I think he can definitely have more shine because, you know, it's the Lakers. They didn't share the ball as much because, well, he came off the bench, right?
Yeah.
Last season, yeah. So Caruso was that sixth man.
Okay, the good thing about Caruso is, one, he plays on both sides of the ball.
I think that's what the Bulls do the best. Honestly, right now they got a lot of players that can play good defense and offense, and it translates.
Yeah, man, that's the thing. I mean, Zach LaVine isn't bad. You got Kobe White out there too.
Yeah.
Kobe White, I mean, like, he's up and coming. Not to like sit here and just talk about like Kobe
That's
White.
something I was gonna.
Go ahead.
So, 2 of the last 3 years, the Bulls have drafted really well.
Okay.
They drafted Kobe White, I want to say in 2019. And then in 2020, they drafted Patrick Williams. And then, you know, you add in Lonzo Ball and Caruso and DeRozan.
Oh,
DeMar DeRozan.
I knew they
That's
had
who I was
four.
forgetting.
The thing is, he's so cold from mid range. One thing, I remember having an argument with one of my friends, shout out Caden Page, because he was the one telling me that DeMar DeRozan plays like Michael Jordan. But, I mean, it's just funny when you say it, but I mean, like, as far as like,
It's funny because it's true.
yeah, I know, yeah, it's funny because it's like, I mean, he does in a way like where, I mean, okay, as far as the mid range goes, he's money from mid range like Jordan, and like he also has the athleticism like Jordan, and they're similar in size. So I understand what he's saying. You know what I mean? Also, you bring that type of player to Chicago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? An all-around player. I mean, DeRozan is a monster on, like, as far as mid-range goes. Him and Middleton got to be the best mid-range shooters in the game right now. I mean, Curry, Sean Livingston's out the league, so them niggas safe. But Sean Livingston was the last person that I just remember being money like that.
I think Durant is.
Durant, of course.
Oh, Durant can get it anywhere.
Anywhere. But that's the same thing about Curry. That's why I say Curry last. But what I mean, like, specializing in mid-range, Middleton, DeRozan, bar none. I mean, maybe tied for first. I can't sit here and tell you. I mean, it's easy to say that Chris Middleton is better because he's coming off a championship. I'll sit there and I'll watch LeBron tear up Toronto time and time again with DeMar DeRozan on the team. And it's just like, look, one thing that DeMar DeRozan can get is that mid range. If he can't get nothing else, he can get that mid range. So you bring that type of player to the table. You got Zach LaVine, who's an in and out scorer, and he can you know what I'm saying? Just
he's a slasher guy.
Yeah.
He can slash, man. And it's just you know, if DeMar DeRozan's facilitating playmaking skills can translate over to Zach LaVine, then they're gonna have two really good players, man. And then you got Kobe White and Alex Caruso playing on both sides of the ball with Patrick Williams. I mean, these guys are a contender, and I don't think that it's very far-fetched to say that. Now, you gotta look at the East. We got the Nets, who we're about to talk about next. Miami, Bucks, Celtics, Knicks, Chicago, Pacers are good. Hornets, they're in there. Now, so it's I don't know where Chicago, huh?
The East going to be pretty competitive this year.
Oh, yeah, man. The only thing is, I'm not really sure where Chicago is. Are they maybe mid-tier type of players?
I think so.
Are they a higher up type of team? Or are they towards are they going to battle for the play-in this year? Yeah. You never know.
I think what might end up happening is everybody on top of the rankings right now, they're going to drop for sure because not everyone's in their stride right now.
Oh, for sure.
And
5 games into an 82-game season.
I think what's going to happen is the Hornets and the Bulls are top 2 right now. I think they're definitely going to drop to mid. I don't think that the Hornets are going to stay in the running this season, but I think that the Bulls are going to be bottom to mid tier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I would say the same thing. I'm just not really sure if I'm ready to call them a better squad than the Knicks. But the Knicks were a mid-tier team as well. Yeah. And when you take Atlanta, they were good, but they were also a mid-tier team as well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Miami, they were lower last year. I mean, so yeah, as far as seedings go, that's always a little bit tricky because these teams are going to play each other anyways. Yeah. You know what I mean? But if you take the fact that the Knicks, they were mid-tier, so was Miami last year, I think they can be mid to high, only because I feel like they can make a case to where, you know, they might have the seedings fall to where they favor more so they'll be maybe a top 4 seed. Now, as far as talent, I do feel like they're a lower tier team. Only because I feel like I'm not really sure what Lonzo quite brings to the table. I know he makes everybody around them a better team. Yeah.
But that's nothing Caruso can't do. That's nothing Caruso can't do either.
Yeah. Caruso also serves the same role. So maybe what's going to take this team to the next level is Lonzo, and I feel like everybody knows that. So that's why a lot of eyes are on Lonzo. But this team, without him on the team, they're a mid-tier team as far as talent goes. They just got to put it together. And if coaching comes along with it, then man, I mean, you know, we're in for a ride when it comes to this, the Eastern Conference playoffs. Yeah. Man, I really just can't wait for that to
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, basketball is different. I'm excited. I'm not going to lie. All right. So, moving on to the next, like we were talking about. Okay. All right, the Nets are not in the playoff picture as of right now. I think they're 2-3.
2-2.
3-2. 3-2?
Well, 2-2 or 3-2?
They lost to the Hornets last night.
Beat the Wizards, though.
Okay.
So 2-2.
But that's still, they need Kyrie. Yeah. We said that last week.
They need Kyrie.
We've been saying
that's the headline. The Nets need Kyrie, man.
I think Steve Nash isn't really the right guy for the job, honestly. The rotations are kind of weird. I mean, I think last year a lot of the rotational stuff and actual coaching was a lot of credit to D'Antoni being on staff.
Wow.
You think so?
Know, James Harden and D'Antoni already have that connection.
True, that is true.
And
the main thing last season was just injury. If there was no injury, they would have made it to the finals.
I mean, they need Kyrie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, they do need Kyrie. I mean, so that's not really far-fetched to say. Because, I mean, with Kyrie, they made it a long way. But without James Harden, you know, they lost a lot of games.
Yeah.
Last year we're talking about. So maybe they do need all three to be present in order to actually be an effective team. Because other than that, man, maybe, you know, I don't know. Maybe KD can't do it. Maybe, you know, Harden can't do it. Maybe those two by themselves, as great as they are, can't do it. Now, if you think about who they have surrounding them.
Flex. He's been lackluster. Man. I think Blake is...
Blake's all right.
He's just getting old. That's the thing about a lot of these big centers that, you know, they're not as good as they were. He's a forward, but they play him as center sometimes. That's all they really have is Clax and him, honestly. And we got rid of Shamit from last season. He was good.
Here's a fact that people need to understand: the Nets are not they're not as deep as they were last year.
Yeah.
They're just not.
They need to play Cam Thomas more, though. In my
They
opinion.
didn't play DeAndre Jordan the whole season last year, and we could have had some rebounds.
Well,
Not the whole season, the whole playoffs.
The whole playoffs last year. He
And-
did get time.
And we could have had a couple rebounds. Probably not over Giannis, but we didn't play him through the Celtics either, did we?
I don't think so. We really ran that Blake Griffin at center thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are Nets fans, if you
Oh,
can't
the
tell.
I just want to see Kevin
wanna see
Durant get a ring
Harden
without
be-
Curry and Clay in them.
I just want to see
Yeah.
Harden be great.
I would love to see Kevin Durant get his ring, but I mean, hopefully not at the expense of the Miami Heat. So I got to ride with my squad,
That is true.
unfortunately.
What I gotta say real quick, I don't like LeBron. I think he's just a punk. I want to see Kevin Durant be better than LeBron.
Oh, I
He's
see.
the
For
leader.
sure.
I see.
For sure.
And like, what is the Lakers' problem? Why are they not winning? Okay, my issue with the Lakers and them not winning probably has to be Russell Westbrook. Has to be one of the most like underachieving like people that I've ever really come across. Like really after averaging a triple double, like it's kind of like he went into coast mode, not like to take away from his game and like what he did with the Rockets and when they went. But it's like, when they went to the playoffs, of course, in the bubble, but it's like, you know, to me, I feel like Russell has been underachieving ever since that time. And maybe a team full of great players is not for him.
He's not good with chemistry like that. That's what I think.
He needs to be on a team where everyone else is ass and just a couple shooters, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's why I like the Wizards at the end of the year when they made that playoff push. Because nobody else is really doing shit. I mean, they had Bradley out there.
Yeah.
But besides Bradley,
was just
and
them
Russ,
two
it
versus
was
the
just-
world.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like a good place for Russ to go would probably be New Orleans. And I'm not just saying that because I am like the hometown, like, you know, that is the home team for real. But it's just like, you talking about shooters, you're talking about size, length. I mean, we got Johan Valanciunas, you got B.I., who literally has the chemical makeup and skill set to be, you know, kind of a mid version of KD.
Yeah. Light-skinned KD.
Light-skinned KD, man. And then it's just like, you got Zion coming. So, I mean, I don't know. Bringing Russell to that, you know, type of environment where he can distribute and he can also be the center of, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All scoring, all things, you know what I'm saying?
He
Like,
can really play point guard on that team.
he can really play
He
point guard
will.
on that
I
team.
think he will if he goes there.
If he goes there, he should. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But the thing is, I feel like when you have Russell coming into a position where it's like you got to take a back seat, now you're the second option, you might be the third.
Yeah.
I think he is.
I don't know if he's quite ready to do that or serve his role. Because, I mean, honestly, if you think about his skill set, how could he be a third option
Yeah.
or a second option?
Literally. He's that triple-double guy. He needs to have the ball in his hands at all times.
My
or
thing
else-
is he needs to bring the ball up the court.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm not sure if LeBron quite trusts anybody else to make the right basketball play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And him also be on the court too. Because LeBron's not gonna run down the court and stand at the top of the key with his feet ready to shoot.
Hell no.
He's not gonna be that. He's not gonna run down to the corner and be like right here, right. Like nah, LeBron's gonna bring it up and he's gonna give it to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Now that's Russ needs to be that second option. My thing is, because they kind of did it last year with Dennis Schroeder, and Dennis Schroeder
Yeah.
did it good. You know what I'm saying? Russ's thing is the outside shot that is hindering him. Yes. But it's just like, if you talk about his distribution skills, I mean, like, imagine LeBron bringing it up the court. On one side of the wing, he brings it up the court, top of the key. And then he just, like, bullet passes to, like, Russ. And then Russ just drives and just starts looking for his options or whatever. Then it's just like, it's a different game at that point. And it's just like, I don't know, like, swing it back to the top of the key if LeBron's still up there and then he drives. Then what? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, they have a lot of potential. To me, I feel like it's not meshing well because they're breaking down a lot of old guys on that team. A lot of old guys. You know what I'm saying? If there's anybody that should be playing like a real role, like outside of those three people that we named. Okay, what I'm saying is I don't know if a role is quite, Russ's position.
Yeah.
Russ's role. You know what I mean? A role is not his role.
Okay.
I think more so this guy needs to be the
Wrestling,
second
I like
option, if not. You know what I mean?
You like that? Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? If anybody should be playing a role, it should be Carmelo. And he'll play his role.
He knows that he needs to score 10.
Oh, no. Look, Russ could drive to a cup, attract two niggas, and then dish it to Carmelo, and Carmelo be wide open for mid-range.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He'll do that happily. Russ might not. He might not take that. He might take it, he might make it, he might take it, he might miss it.
He's not even. I'll say he makes probably half of his mid ranges.
Yeah, he's not bad at mid-range, he's just not good.
Yeah, he's more of a slash type of guy. If he was a little bit taller, he could definitely like be the slashing king.
See, now back in like 2019, 2019 or 18 to 19 type of year, like back then, yes, I would say like his mid range was on because that was different. That was the triple double Russ.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's Russ. You know, and the thing is, he's so athletic. And like, I don't know, I really do wonder what this team is like when Russell is playing at his best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see. How you feel about Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard fighting on the sideline?
Okay,
That's just like brotherly.
that's
stuff.
brotherly shit.
It's just funny to me.
What Dwight Howard didn't want was to do it on camera or not on camera, not out here. And like AD was pressing. AD kind of like walked him down and like chased him down and was like trying to like get some words in. So my you want to know my thoughts on it?
Yeah.
Okay, first off, what I thought it was just like nothing. I thought it was just like two passionate players, you know what I mean, like being whatever. Well, okay, I'm not gonna say nothing because I don't know why he quite put hands on Dwight Howard.
What I want to say is this, and we could talk about this right after. What if it was about the whole 75 best players thing?
It might have been, who knows? But if you ask me, okay, that's another conversation.
Yeah.
But all right,
What if they were fighting about that though?
I didn't know.
if they are out there, then like that's petty and they both need to grow up because you got a basketball game to win. Like John Morant's about to do you in your house and you're over here mad. If they should be mad, if they were mad at each other, it should have been about that. It better have been about that. Like if I was on the team, I'd have been like, both you niggas need your ass slapped. I would have went off. My thought about the whole AD and Dwight thing, I don't think it's a big deal because people get into it all the time. Now maybe the handsy thing, I don't know. For me, that's kind of like a big deal because like you don't have to sit there and try to touch anybody. But who knows what Dwight Howard said? Who knows? You know what I mean? He could have been like top 75 player of my ass. That's something I would have said. Segueing into that, I don't think that AD's ass should be nowhere near the top 75. He's not that good. He's not. I've never thought that AD was that good of a player. I don't ever think that I've ever thought that AD was a top. AD has been a top 5 player in the league, and I think he has been a top 5 player in the league consecutively. But it's always been arguable if he was even in the top 5 to begin with.
Yeah.
And on top of the fact, I don't think he's ever been the best player in the league ever. So for him to be on the top 75, I feel like
It's probably just stats.
and if you're celebrating top 75 players, it should be the best player in the league every year. Because not only it's a dominant season, it's 75 years of the NBA that they're celebrating. So you need to go back to every year, the best player in the league from every year. That should be it. But you're obviously going to get multiple people that were the best player in the league more than once.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron, Kobe,
Michael
you know what I'm
Jordan.
saying? Hence why D-Wade, Tim Duncan, Dirk, they made the list because Kobe can't make it more than once. Look, you got Hakeem, Charles Barkley, them type of Shaq, they made the list because obviously Michael Jordan can't win it more than once. There has not been one time ever that I think that AD he's making a case to be the best player in the league. Never has came out of my mouth. Ever.
Did have a case for best player in the league though?
Who?
Dwight Howard in
Dwight Howard in 2009. No, okay, my thing is Dwight Howard used to lead the league in rebounds. Like, he did it consecutively one time. I don't know how many times he's done it. I don't know off the top of my head. I didn't know we were going to talk about this, y'all. I'm not going to lie. I'm not prepared. But on top of we're just riffing right now. But on top of the fact that he's also led the league in blocks more than once, I don't think AD has ever done that. Ever.
He's more of a forward. In my opinion, I think Anthony Davis is tall, but he plays more like a forward because he shoots more.
AD's skill set is amazing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but I just think it's a lot of hype behind him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know why?
Why?
It's because he joined the Lakers. That's the only reason.
Man, but there was hype about him when he was in New Orleans, and I didn't see it.
That's what I was going to say.
I will never forget that year that we was talking about when they had Rondo and Drew Holiday, and they had DeMarcus Cousins, and they swept the Blazers. They had DeMarcus Cousins. Me and my dad were sitting down talking about it, and we were like, man, DeMarcus Cousins, he just might be better. He just might be better than AD.
There was a point in time where we were talking about is DeMarcus Cousins better than AD, and that's crazy to think about.
That is crazy to think about because DeMarcus Cousins' ass ain't nowhere near no fucking top 75 either. Yeah. I don't know. It makes me mad.
It's an injury problem.
I have no problem with AD, by the way. Okay, yeah, no, I don't have any problem with AD. But it's just like, to me, I feel like the guy is overrated. And like, I don't understand. I just don't understand where it comes from. That's my thing. Is it the unibrow? No, I mean, like, is it the unibrow? Is he marketable? Like, is it because he's just so marketable? Like Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield's a marketable guy. Don't really understand why. Don't really understand what they see in him. But I see it. In the commercials, he kind of like sells it. He's good. Like, he's good at doing this commercial. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen him do
That's
it.
not even on the court. Like, we were talking about how he's top 75. Where would you rank him on that list if you had to? Which I know you don't want to. But, like, where would you put him?
70 damn high.
Okay.
70 damn
That's
high.
what I thought you were going to say.
75.
I think what I want to say is this. Look, if Dwight Howard didn't make the list and Anthony Davis did, what is Anthony Davis doing more than Dwight Howard did in his prime?
See, that's fucked up.
Winning a championship.
I mean, Dwight Howard won a championship on that team too, though. But he won his prime.
But yeah. Okay, but winning a championship in his prime, that's one thing that AD did that Dwight Howard did not do.
Yeah. I mean, Dwight would have if it wasn't for Kobe.
Maybe Shaq.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for Kobe Bean Bryant, yeah, I mean, like, there's no way that
Maybe Shaq blackmailed Dwight Howard. Think about it. They both said that they were Superman at one point.
Shaq literally had Dwight Howard rent free on his mind because of how good Dwight Howard was. I mean, he wasn't no Shaq.
He didn't have as much body weight or muscle at that time, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but of course, look, one thing I will sit here and say about about Dwight Howard, as far as dominance, there was a conversation. Yeah. There was a conversation, for sure. People were like,
people just don't remember.
People don't remember, and like, they got recency bias. Yeah. So, like, I understand why AD ended up making the list. AD is not that good to me, man. He's not.
He's not better than prime Dwight.
Man, he might not be better than prime a lot of boys, man. Like, a lot of boys, man. Karl Malone. I don't know if he's better than prime Karl Malone. Man.
He's not better than a lot. And I think really what it was is just stats. Like, they're just being, like back in New Orleans, he really was going dumb towards the end of that like era, and then he got to the Lakers and just went off because he had LeBron to actually do something with him. Yeah. We didn't really have anybody with him at the Pelicans, and we were happy to get rid of him whenever we got Zion. We thought, I'm not gonna say that he's not and he couldn't be, but I think Zion. We thought that Zion was gonna be the next LeBron.
Oh no. I think, look, Zion, okay, yeah, Zion's, now that he has a broken foot and that he's fat as fuck, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's a little concern right there. Yeah. But it's just like, if he can still make it up and down in court, if he can still make it up and down the court and, like, have stamina to play 4 quarters, there's no doubt in my mind that, like, Zion could be one of the most dominant forwards in the league. Because, I mean, there's people that are tall. I mean, you look at KD. I'm not sitting here saying that KD would get bodied by Zion, but I am at the same time. Because it's like, I don't care how tall you are, you're not 300. There's nobody in there that's 300. So it's like, if he can take that to the league, we got another Shaq, just shorter. And a Charles Barkley frame. Yeah. And it's like, boy, I don't know if I don't know if he's going to move quite the same. Man, I'm really just interested to see what it's going to look like when he gets back on the court. How is he going to keep the weight off like on a broken foot? You have a foot injury. And then they're mad because they're worrisome. It's worrisome because he's heavier and now he's going to be playing basketball on his foot injury. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's worrisome for me, but it's just like, hey, look, shout out New Orleans for having that good food. Yeah. Hey, look, if you're not careful, If you're not careful,
Gumbo,
it's gonna get you.
Po' boys.
It's gonna get you.
Beignets.
It's gonna get you. Man, keep going. Boudin.
Boudin.
Man, I mean,
Ham and cheese.
man.
Boudin.
If you
Had to say it.
got if you got a weak stomach,
Oysters.
bro, this is everything. Po' boys, everything, man. But yeah, man, I think that's
Jambalaya.
We're making these motherfuckers hungry. We should probably
yeah,
wrap it
yeah. We're
up.
probably
Too
we're making you boys hungry. We're about to get out of here,
I don't
man.
even want to know what he does in crawfish.
You're making me hungry. You're making me hungry. What we doing for food? Food?
Let's go to
Question
New
mark?
Orleans.
All right, let's go to New Orleans. Let's go to New Orleans. Let's go. All right,
Go
boys.
Astros.
Peace.
Dude said go Astros.